Hi, it's the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your April 2017 mid-month readings. Thank you so much for joining us here today, and welcome to any newcomers who may be here for the first time. Always a thank you to those of you who continue to watch and listen and follow and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you for those of you who take the time to write in your comments and send such lovely support and feedback. Very much appreciated and always welcome. Thank you very much. And also a note of thanks to those of you who continue to keep me so busy with personal one-on-one readings. It's always an honor and a pleasure to read for you, and I'm very grateful for the trust that you place in me to interpret and intuit the cards for you. And also a special thank you to my regular clients. You guys are great at keeping me updated and giving me consistent feedback and how those readings continue to play out in your lives. And if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me and you haven't read with me before, you can click on the About or Description button on my YouTube channel's homepage, which will give you a little more information and detail and has my email address. Please feel free to email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you. Current turnaround time for personal readings with me is anywhere from a few days upwards of 2 weeks. But since I do readings full-time 6 days a week, I'm usually able to get back with you quite quickly and almost always schedule a reading within a 2-week period of time, live or recorded. I do a variety of readings, love and romance, of course, compatibility chartings, career, work, and finance, year overviews, channeled messages, health readings. So if you're interested, send me an email and we'll set something up for you. Now remember, these are general readings. There's a lot of you watching. There's thousands of you watching. So of course, they're not going to resonate to the same degree and intensity for everyone watching. I mean, how could they? So check your rising and your moon sign video. You may find that one of those may play out a little more predictably for you than your primary sun sign. And by watching all three, you just get additional insight and clarity into what's going on in your life for the time frame that the reading covers. So try to watch all three if you can. I continue to use the Gilded Tarot for my general readings by artist Cyril Marchetti, and I will be drawing the customary 8 cards with an additional 9th card from the bottom of the deck representing overall energy and advice. So let's move right along into this. This is the last mid-month reading for Libra. Not the last for Libra, I mean it's the last of the mid-month readings, and this particular reading is for Libra, the air sign of Libra, for April 2017 mid-month. Let us see what this beautiful month of April has in store for Libra for its remaining couple of weeks. What does the remainder of April 2017 have in store for the air sign of Libra? Libra, April 2017, mid-month. Libra, April 2017, mid-month. Okay, Libra, we begin with the Two of Cups. What a lovely way to begin. Followed by Justice, the King of Pentacles, followed by the Lovers. Wow, Two of Cups and Lovers. We have Death, Transformation as I like to call it, accompanied by the Six of Swords, and the Nine of Wands, followed by the Fool. And from the bottom of the deck, your overall energy and advice is the Ten of Wands. Okay, Libra. You have 4 major arcana cards, Libra. I've noticed that for a lot of the signs for the April 2017 mid-month readings, Capricorn had 7 out of 9 major arcana cards. You have 4. So a pretty strong sense of divine timing and orchestration. Fingers of the divine are cradling you over the next couple of weeks. For a lot of you, this is going to resonate as a relationship reading. The nature of that relationship could be romantic or some other kind of connective relationship, but I am showing a very connected soulmate or kindred spirit type of relationship for the majority of you. Although, of course, as I always say, you can apply this energy to any other area of your life if it resonates that way for you. What I typically do is the bulk of the channeling of the energy that I get. So what I'm getting is more relationship than anything else. There's definitely some things coming to an end, it looks like, that need to. Actually, and we'll start there. We'll start with your crowning card. Your overall energy and advice, Libra, for the next couple of weeks is the Ten of Wands. Fire energy, which is the element that governs the suit of wands. It's a very dynamic, fluid, action-oriented suit. It's got a lot of creative, manifesting energy to it. Change, movement, action, power is the suit of wands. Tens represent completion, the end of a cycle, the coming full circle of something. So the Ten of Wands, your overall energy over the next couple of weeks is a burden coming to an end, a cross you've had to bear, either drawing to a close or you're needing to lay it down and walk away from something. For some of you, this is going to represent a relationship that for some of you, of course, it's going to split a variety of different ways. Some of you, this is going to represent the end of a difficult period in an already existing relationship. For some of you, it's going to represent the relationship itself coming to an end, or advice that this is something which needs to be laid down and walked away from. The Ten of Wands can represent a cross you've actually had to bear, a long and challenging situation you've invested a lot of time in. I always get the feeling from the Ten of Wands that it's a long-standing kind of situation, that you started off with 1 or 2 wands and gradually it became 3 and 4 and 5 until it became this weight that is so heavy and so cumbersome that you're completely bowed over by the weight of it. You're carrying it successfully, and you have been. Even if you've dropped some of these wands, you've managed to pick them back on and pick them back up and keep going on successfully, but it's a heavy burden. And the 10 represents you're either coming to the end of something, of the relationship itself, or perhaps something within the relationship. For some of you, this is with a soulmate, kindred spirit, connection, romantic relationship, or really like best friend, kindred spirit, karmic connective relationship. There's something perhaps the two of you have been going through together that is drawing to a close. And for some of you, it's going to be advice that this needs to come to an end, or some part of it needs to come to an end so that you can be free from this burden, stand up and take a deep breath. So that's your overall energy over the next couple of weeks. And we want heavy burdens to come to an end. So there's a positive aspect of that, even if it does represent the ending of a relationship. Now we begin with the Two of Cups, followed by Justice. So the Two of Cups, here we have water energy, which is the element that governs the suit of cups. This is a very fluid moving suit. The energy of cups manifests in the emotional landscape of our lives. Emotions, feelings, relationships, love, how we relate to people. The Two of Cups is traditionally considered the soulmate card. This speaks of a soulmate, kindred spirit, karmic connection, that karmic thread connecting you and another person. Although, again, you can apply this same energy to career, work, and finances, to a job, to spirituality as well. It fundamentally represents the coming together or the union of two things which fits in a variety of different levels. In relationship, this would represent somebody that it's more than just physical and chemical attraction. This is a meeting of the mind, the heart, the soul, the spirit. This is seeing a lot of things in the same perspective, the same light. This is somebody that probably soon after you met them, you felt like you'd known them for quite a long time. In job and career, this could represent finding the perfect job. Not only does it pay well, but you don't have to pay for parking, your commute isn't long, you like the work, you like the people you work around. It represents coming together of two people or two entities, two things, which fit together on a variety of different levels. But for the majority of you, this is a relationship. The nature of that relationship can vary, but for a lot of you, this is karmic. This is a karmic connection. Soulmate, kindred spirit. Now, the Two of Cups is paired with the major arcana card of Justice. This is the reap what you sow card. This represents that the result or the outcome of something will depend in large part, if not entirely, upon what you invest in it. What you put into something is going to reflect the outcome and the result of something. So the cautionary advice is always to proceed through this with as much honesty and personal integrity that you can, because it's going to determine what the results are. Because, as the saying goes, justice is blind. It's not supposed to be based on what you want to have happen or what you hope to have happen, but what the result, the outcome, what's going to happen is going to be based on what your actions were during this. So, paired with the Two of Cups, what does this really mean? Well, pretty much what I just said. Uh, I feel like for a lot of you, because you also have the Lovers card here, which speaks of that same passionate soulmate connection, but also represents needing to make a significant choice that will significantly and drastically affect a relationship, more than one person, possibly three people as well. A choice needs to be made here. And the outcome and result of this are going to depend on what you decide to do and how you decide to do it and how you conduct yourself through this as well. It looks like there is transformation. There's going to be an ending of the relationship, or something within the relationship, or something that you and your partner have been perhaps dealing with it, and a transformation is what's needed as well here. So next we transition into the energy of the King of Pentacles, followed by the Lovers. So for a lot of you, this King of Pentacles is going to represent a person that's going to be significant, that's playing a significant role, or has a significant factoring presence in this situation, in this relationship. This would likely be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. This could be your partner, or somebody else, which is having a significant impact on the relationship. So if I were to describe the King of Pentacles as an actual person, this would be an earth sign person, or someone who strongly manifests the character traits of the King of Pentacles. Now it is showing up as male, as a king, but since this is a general reading and there's so many of you watching, it could easily be a female as well. It could be the Queen of Pentacles. Kings and queens represent individuals who have reached the mastery of their suit, basically grown-ups. They've kind of matured and evolved beyond that, the immature energy of the page, that spontaneous impulsive energy of the night, and they've reached a mastery of their suit. So the King and Queen of Pentacles would represent, as an individual, somebody who has achieved mastery over and is really good at navigating the day-to-day aspects of the physical world we live in. This would be somebody who works full-time or owns their own business, somebody who may be a full-time homemaker, but somebody who's really great at it, who manages to run the business side of their life, the personal side of their life very well. They always look good. The house always looks good. The lawn is always mowed. They volunteer twice a week at the local charity. They're the one that everybody calls on in moments of crisis because they're very solid, stable, reliable. They're always there when you need them. They're a great source of support and feedback, particularly when it comes to, financial and material things, because that's their forte, and they make it look effortless. The King of Pentacles is probably financially comfortable, if not well off, because he's very good at navigating all of the aspects of that world, and he's worked long and hard at building up a good, solid, stable foundation for himself, particularly financially or materially, and he likes that. He enjoys having the luxuries, the physical comforts around him, and he also believes that everybody else should have the same opportunity to acquire those things as well. He's generous and a good provider energy too. Solid, stable, reliable, somebody who gives you a sense of reassurance, solidity, and stability. This could also be the energy that is needed, that you need to manifest, Libra, in navigating your way through this this relationship issue and what looks like to be a very significant choice that needs to be made. And for some of you, this is going to represent your partner. And for a smaller portion of you, it could represent somebody else, but somebody who's playing a significant role because they've shown up here. Now, the King of Pentacles is accompanied by the Lovers. So soulmate, kindred spirit, very connective, very passionate energy between the two of you. The Lovers also represents a choice. In the early tarot decks, that's what this card was called. It was called the Choice. It wasn't called the Lovers. And it depicted a man standing in front of two women, or two women standing in front of a man. The implication being that a decision needed to be made which was going to significantly affect the outcome or the path of a relationship. So about more than one person. So a decision needs to be made, it looks like, Libra, that's going to significantly impact a very important karmic relationship that you have, whether that's a love romance relationship or some other type of relationship, but it's very connective. There is a karmic thread between the two of you. Divine timing and orchestration is definitely at play here. But for a lot of you, this is going to be a soulmate, kindred spirit, or someone that you believe is your soulmate and kindred spirit, which doesn't necessarily mean that they're meant to be in our lives for our entire lives. Sometimes soulmates are meant to only occupy certain chapters of our life, but not the entire book. And sometimes it is for our entire life. It just, it can vary, but soulmate doesn't necessarily mean for the rest of our lives. It just means that there's a karmic connection between the two of us, and there's something important which needs to happen between the two of us so that we can learn valuable lessons in our evolution as a human being, which is why we're here. So a significant decision, a choice needs to be made. Something needs to be dealt with within this relationship. And I think for a lot of you, for some of you, it's going to be, has the relationship run its course? Is it time for this relationship to come to an end? For others of you, it's a situation within the relationship. Something needs to come to an end. So there needs to be a transformation and a rebirth here in order to proceed and to have healing as well. And for some of you, it's going to be, for some of you, it's a situation that the relationship that you're in, you as a couple have been going through something, and you as a couple need to make this decision together as a team. There's a decision that needs to be made that's going to significantly impact this relationship. Now, next to that, we have the energy of death, transformation, accompanied by the Six of Swords. So death, transformation, this represents an ending, a significant ending, or a complete transformation of something which is already there. It represents the ground being cleared out and needing to be cleared out so something else can be planted in its place, because rebirth follows death and beginnings follow endings, but the ending has to come first, of course. This represents, kind of getting everything cleared out, starting from the bottom, pulling all the weeds out, getting everything pruned back so that you can plant seeds to grow and manifest something truly beautiful. So for some of you, this is going to represent making a decision about the ending of a relationship, or perhaps a transformation of an already existing relationship. And for some of you, there's a really important decision in front of you which you and your partner need to make together in order to move past some very difficult, challenging aspect in your lives, in your relationship, because death is accompanied by the Six of Swords. So swords is air energy. That's the element which governs the suit of swords. And this is mental, cerebral, intellectual energy. It's all about what goes on up here. The energy of the suit of swords is about our words and our ideas and how we communicate them, our belief system and outlook and perspective and perceptions of things. The Six of Swords is a card that represents moving out of a troubled, turbulent, chaotic, or painful, challenging time in our lives into a time that's more placid, quieter, smoother, serene. It represents peace and restoration and healing. It's a transitional energy card, meaning that the worst is behind you. If you could see the water behind this boat, it would be very choppy and wavy and turbulent, representing this difficult or challenging time that you've been going through. And you're headed towards a place where everything's going to be in place, settled, serene. The chaos, the trouble, the challenge, the pain is behind you. This card represents that in-between time. You're not quite to the other shore yet, but you are steadily and definitively moving towards a much better time in your life, which is healing and is quieter, and there's a strong sense of peace. It's sometimes a little bit of a quiet, somber energy, but it's still positive. It's just moving into a more peaceful, healing time in your life. In order for this to happen, there needs to be a pretty significant transformation of this relationship or whatever it is that you guys are going through, or there just needs to be an ending of it completely. And the next couple of weeks looks like it's going to be focused and needs to be focused on how to do this, and also not only the decision that you make, but how you achieve what you want as well. because that's going to depend, the outcome is going to depend on how you do this, what you choose and how you choose to do it. For example, if you decide to end this significant relationship, how are you going to do that? Because it's also going to affect the final outcome as well. But there needs to be an ending or a complete transformation so that the two of you can move forward and into a better, peaceful, more healing time, whether that's together or whether it's on separate paths. And it will represent the ending of something, which has become very heavy and very cumbersome and a real weight as well. Looking at your overall energy of that Ten of Wands too. So at or towards the end of April 2017, Libra, we have the energy of the Nine of Wands, followed by the Fool. So the Nine of Wands, we have more fire energy here. The Nine of Wands represents basically not giving up in the 11th hour. Remember, tens represent completion, something drawing to a close. So we're close here. We're at the 9. The soldier's journey is almost done. This cluster of 8 wands behind him represent one last obstacle, hurdle, challenge, delay, block, something he's run into maybe rather unexpectedly. And it's about taking a step back, taking another look at it, getting a fresh perspective, re-strategizing, figuring out how to deal with it, and then dealing with it and moving through and completing the journey. It's a card about not giving up. It's dark, darkest before dawn. It's about not giving up. You're almost at the end. You're almost at the journey's end. It's just one last thing which needs to be dealt with. And you may have to kind of take a step back and kind of take another look, maybe get some feedback, get a fresh perspective, figure out how to do it, and then move through because you're just about at the end of it. And it could be the relationship itself or a problem you're dealing with within the relationship or a problem that the two of you are dealing with together. And that's what you need for, again, for this transformation, this healing. That's what you're going to need. It's the final thing before you start this new beginning. That Nine of Wands is paired with the Fool card, my favorite card in the tarot, Major Arcana card. The Fool is the 0. He's the first card in the tarot. The Fool represents endings and beginnings too. It represents a brand new beginning, but actually it's the breath before the first step of a new journey. It represents that in-between time of something coming to an end and something new beginning. The Fool is about that short but almost infinite time where something has ended and you're considering the possibilities and the potential moving forward. That place where anything could happen, everything could happen. The possibilities are infinite and endless. It's that time in between, considering what could happen, the breath before the first step of a brand new journey. The Fool is also here to remind us that it really is about the journey itself, not so much in being goal-focused or destination-oriented. It's good to have goals, to set goals, and to work towards those goals. But the Fool is here to remind us that the true value is in the steps of the journey and the lessons of the journey itself. And he's also here to remind us that it's perfectly all right and sometimes necessary to step outside our comfort zone, step off the path, take a risk, do something perhaps you haven't done before, do something that you've always wanted to do but never had the courage to do. Step out of your comfort zone and try something new, something different in order to achieve something new and something different as well in these new beginnings. So overall, Libra, regardless of whether it's a relationship coming to an end, some significant aspect of the relationship coming to an end or transforming, or the two of you making a decision about something that you're facing together, whatever the specifics are, the energy fundamentally remains the same. There is a big decision, a big choice that needs to be made, and you need to be careful about how you do it. We don't want to spontaneously and impulsively just rush in and do or say things that we may regret later, because that's going to affect how this turns out in the end, the final outcome as well. The objective here is transformation, peace, and healing, moving out of this difficult, challenging time period into something new. And in order for that to happen, there needs to be some significant endings and transformations. The ground needs to be cleared out so that you can plant something new. It's kind of like we're at the 11th hour here. It's the final bit before a new chapter kind of opens up for you, whether that's on separate paths or whether that's together, because we want to be able to lay down this weight and stand up straight and take a deep breath again. So Libra, that pretty much represents your April 2017 mid-month reading. I hope that you have found it useful, that it's given you some insight and some food for thought, because that is why we do these readings. Again, if any of you are interested in a personal, tailored for you one-on-one reading, live or recorded, please feel free to contact me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be most happy to work with you. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the May 2017 general readings, and I can't believe it's almost May already. So until then, Libra, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.